Welcome to Trading an Edge, the podcast where we break down the psychology, mindset, and system of elite trading.
Today we're tackling something really fundamental.
Yeah, we're going deep into a core illusion in trading. This idea that wins and losses are actual opposites. What if they aren't? What if understanding they're, well, entangled, part of the same thing, is the key shift you need for consistent, disciplined trading?
It's a disruptive truth, really.
Yeah.
Wins and losses are not opposites. They are identical in nature, just 2 degrees of the same spectrum.
One boosts your confidence, maybe.
Right. And the other tests your resilience. But crucially, both are outcomes of the very same edge you chose to put into play.
Exactly. It's about helping you maintain discipline, cut down on that emotional bias, and really build true, sustainable consistency.
This isn't about switching off emotions, is it? It's more like understanding them, mastering them by seeing what's really going on with wins and losses. Precisely. And the first step is to dismantle that illusion, the idea that they're truly opposed.
Okay, let's unpack this then. This core idea, it actually echoes through philosophy, doesn't it?
Oh.
Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree.
It does. It's a timeless principle.
Sounds profound.
Yeah.
But for a trader just staring at a sea of red on their P&L, it might feel a bit abstract. How does this old philosophy help with the very real sting of a loss?
Well, it's surprisingly practical because this principle, it shows up everywhere once you start looking. Think about, say, hot and cold.
Okay.
We experience them as totally different things, right? Opposites.
Yeah, definitely.
But scientifically, they aren't separate forces. They're just different points, different degrees on the same scale, temperature.
Ah, I see, like light and dark too.
Yeah.
The degrees of illumination.
Exactly. It's all about the spectrum, the underlying connection, not some unbridgeable gap between 2 distinct things.
So you're seeing the continuity instead of just separate dots.
Precisely. And, this isn't just philosophical musing. Physics touches on this too. Think about quantum entanglement.
Einstein's smooky action at a distance.
That's the one. You have these particles maybe created together, intrinsically linked. You affect one even miles away, and the other changes instantly.
Wow.
It shows how things that seem separate, even opposite, can be just different faces of one single connected system.
So for us, the trading system is the connection,
Okay.
and wins and losses are the faces.
You got it. They are fundamentally connected outcomes of your trading activity.
Okay, that philosophical lens is powerful. But listeners are probably thinking, right, entanglement, cool. But how does that help my trading account on Tuesday?
Fair question.
This is where we need to bridge that abstract idea directly to the, let's face it, often messy reality of the markets. This link is vital.
And here's where it gets really potent for you as a trader. Wins and losses feel like polar opposites. One feels great, the other awful. But fundamentally, they are the same in nature. They're both just outcomes of the decisions you made based on your edge.
So a win doesn't suddenly make you a genius trader.
Exactly. And a loss doesn't mean you're a failure. They are both statistical results of taking calculated risks within your defined system. It's probabilities playing out.
That's a really critical point. So when we say identical in nature, we mean they both come from the same root action.
Yes. Executing your edge. Taking that calculated risk. They're natural, unavoidable results of playing the game.
You literally can't have one without the possibility of the other. They're baked into the same process.
Think of it like a heartbeat on a monitor.
Okay.
Wins are those upward spikes, losses are the downward dips, but you need both together to create the rhythm of your trading journey.
Right. Take one away, and the whole thing flatlines.
Precisely. Wins without losses. That's pure fantasy. Losses without wins. Just despair. Real longevity in trading comes from accepting that entire rhythm without letting each peak and valley throw your emotional state off course.
Okay, that makes sense for the identical in nature part. What about the different in degree bit? That seems more obvious. One adds money, one takes it away.
Well, yes, that's where our human perception, our emotional response really kicks in and often, frankly, trips us up. The only difference between a win and a loss is their immediate impact.
Profit versus setback. Confidence versus discomfort.
Exactly. Those are just different degrees, different intensities on that single spectrum of outcomes. But here's the trap. When you start misclassifying wins as validation of you and losses as punishment or failure.
Ah, you distort reality.
Totally. And you hand control over to your emotions,
Yep.
the pros, they see both outcomes as neutral data points. just information.
Evidence to refine the system, not judge themselves.
Right. It's not validation, it's not punishment, it's just feedback.
Okay, if they really are two sides of the same coin, fundamentally the same, why the extreme emotional swings? Why the euphoria after a big win or the despair after a bad loss? What's driving that internal roller coaster?
It boils down to one thing: attachment to the outcome. Those big swings, from elation to misery, they're just different degrees of the very same emotional response, driven by how attached we are to that specific result.
So it's not the event itself, but our attachment.
Think about it like this. An event itself, say heavy rainfall, is actually neutral. It's just water falling from the sky.
Okay.
It only gets labeled good or bad based on whether it helps or hinders our personal values, our goals.
Right, like the example you gave. The bride having an outdoor wedding sees rain as terrible, challenges her value of perfect day, perfect photos.
Exactly. But maybe just down the road, there's a farmer whose crops are dying of thirst. For him, that exact same rain is fantastic news. It supports his value of a good harvest.
So the rain itself isn't good or bad? Our perspective makes it so.
Precisely. Both perceptions, good and bad, are happening at the same time, totally entangled with the single neutral event. It's our interpretation that creates the emotional charge.
That's a great illustration. So if rain is just rain, and a trade outcome it's just an outcome, why is it so hard for us traders to stay neutral? Why do we get sucked in?
This gets into something we call the conscious and unconscious split. Often, when we experience an event, we're consciously aware of, say, the benefits.
Like the profit from a win.
Right.
Yeah.
But we might be completely unconsciously unaware of the potential drawbacks lurking beneath the surface.
And vice versa for a loss. Conscious of the pain, unconscious of the lesson.
Exactly. This narrow, biased view, only seeing one side of the coin consciously, is what makes events feel so significant, so charged. It creates what we might call emotional charge, space and time, around the event in our minds.
Can you give a trading example of that split?
Sure. Imagine a trader hits a huge win, massive profit. Consciously, they feel validated, smart, maybe even invincible.
The good side.
Right. But unconsciously, they might be blocking out the fact they broke 3 of their own risk rules to get that win. Maybe they got lucky on a news spike they didn't anticipate. That win feels good now, but it's reinforcing bad habits, feeding their ego.
Setting them up for a bigger fall later.
Potentially, yes. That win has hidden drawbacks. Now flip it. A trader takes a loss. Consciously, all they feel is the financial hit, the frustration, the bad.
Yeah, big.
But unconsciously, they might be blind to the benefit. Maybe that loss just clearly showed a critical flaw in their entry criteria, or that they need to work on managing trades better.
So the bad loss actually contains a valuable lesson, a benefit.
Absolutely. It's corrective feedback, a gift in disguise, if they can see it.
Wow. So real trading discipline isn't about crushing emotions then. It's more about integrating, seeing both sides, the conscious and the unconscious aspects, to get the full picture.
That's it, precisely. Discipline emerges when you can finally see both profit and loss, not as some judgment on your self-worth, but simply as neutral signals within a game of probabilities.
And detachment. That doesn't mean you become a robot.
Not at all. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about doing well. It means you stop bleeding emotional energy, reacting to the extremes. You stop getting whipsawed.
And instead, you channel that energy. Where?
Into consistency.
Yeah.
Into executing your process flawlessly. It's about shifting from being run by the outcome to actively learning from every outcome.
Okay, we've laid out this really powerful philosophical and psychological foundation. Wins and losses aren't opposites. They're entangled outcomes on a spectrum, and our attachment creates the emotional charge. Now, the million-dollar question, how do we actually use this day-to-day in the heat of trading?
Right. Theory is great, but application is key.
Let's give everyone listening a practical, step-by-step framework. How can they start embracing this duality and really trade the spectrum, not just react to the peaks and valleys?
Okay, let's do it. This framework is designed to shift you from being reactive to proactive, from emotional trading to, well, strategic mastery. Step 1. Redefine your outcomes. This is foundational. Start viewing every single trade, win or lose, as feedback. A win is positive feedback on your process. A loss is corrective feedback.
Well, they're just lessons then.
Exactly. Both are valuable data points. So the action here is In your journal, commit to writing outcome of my process for every trade instead of just win or loss.
That immediately strips out some of the ego, the judgment.
It does. It frames it purely in terms of discipline and execution, not your personal success or failure on that one instance.
And you mentioned a post-trade analysis.
Yes, implement a PTA protocol right after every trade. And critically, don't look at the P&L first. Ask process questions. Did I follow my plan exactly? Entry, management, exit all by the rules? Did I miss any key signals?
Focusing on what you actually controlled your actions.
Right. Extract the objective lesson regardless of the dollar outcome.
Okay, redefining outcomes. What's step 2?
Step 2. Neutralize emotional bias. This builds on the first step. After a win, consciously note what went right according to your process, but resist the urge to puff up your chest. Be objective.
And after a loss.
Same objectivity. Document what specifically failed in the process without beating yourself up. No self-condemnation. It's about balanced reflection.
You mentioned tracking emotional intensity.
Yeah, this can be really insightful. Create a simple scale, say maximum pain from a loss to +10 for maximum euphoria from a win. Track your emotional score alongside each trade result.
What does that show you?
It helps you pinpoint where you're overreacting. Maybe small wins, +2 result, consistently trigger a +8 emotional high. That's a red flag for unhealthy attachment. Or maybe small losses send you spiraling to -7. It makes your biases visible.
And that psychological integration piece, asking questions to find balance.
Yes, using good questions to actively integrate the ions, so to speak. If you're feeling resentment after a loss, meaning you're stuck on the drawbacks, force yourself to ask, okay, what was the hidden benefit here? How did this loss actually serve me?
Like, it humbled me or revealed a strategy flaw I needed to fix.
Exactly. It made you more resilient, maybe pushed you to learn something new. Now, if you're infatuated with a win stuck on the benefits, ask the opposite. What was the potential drawback of this win?
Maybe it reinforced a sloppy habit because I got lucky or fed my ego dangerously.
Precisely. You're looking for the hidden side. The goal is to consciously see both benefits and drawbacks for every outcome, aiming for that 1-to-1 perception ratio.
Emotional equilibrium.
That's the aim. Operating from objective analysis, not getting hijacked by the immediate feeling.
That sounds incredibly powerful, though maybe it takes practice.
Oh, absolutely. And one more thing for step 2. Develop a quick reset ritual between trades. Win or lose. Could be anything simple. Close your charts for 60 seconds. Take 3 deep breaths. Write 1 sentence in your journal about the process takeaway. The key is to create a distinct break, preventing emotion from spilling over into the next decision. Wipe the slate clean.
Okay, reset ritual. Got it. What's step 3?
Step 3, anchor in probabilities. This is crucial. Internalize that any single trade outcome is essentially meaningless noise in the larger picture. Your edge, your profitability, only shows up over a series of trades.
It's the law of large numbers.
Exactly. Wins and losses are just the expected probabilistic outcomes of your system playing out over time. So, the action. Look back at your last 20, 50, 100 trades. Did your average wins sufficiently outweigh your average losses? Is the math of your edge working? If not, you need to refine your risk-reward or your entries or exits.
It forces you to think statistically, not emotionally, like the coin flip analogy one toss tells you nothing.
Right. And another way to anchor this, track process adherence in your journal. Score each trade, maybe 1 to 10, on how perfectly you followed your rules.
And I bet the most profitable periods often correlate with the highest adherence scores.
Almost always. It hammers home that focusing on flawless execution, the nature of your actions is what drives results long-term, way more than fretting over any single win or loss.
Okay, makes sense. Step 4.
Step 4, reframe identity. This one sounds subtle, but it's huge psychologically. Stop saying I won or I lost. Instead, say the system produced a win or the system produced a loss.
Detaching your ego.
Completely. It's not just playing with words. It creates a vital psychological boundary. You are the operator of the system. You are not defined by the system's statistical output on any given trade.
So you can analyze results objectively without feeling like a personal failure or just as dangerously a genius.
Exactly. It removes the ego's distortion field, allowing for clear-headed analysis and decision-making, decoupling your sense of self-worth from the market's random fluctuations.
I can see how that shift alone could drastically reduce the emotional swings. Okay, what's the final step?
Step 5. Focus on the spectrum. Pull it all together. Recognize that wins and losses are both essential data points on your growth curve as a trader. Balance, not perfection, is what builds durability.
So stop seeing them as enemies fighting each other.
Yes. Embrace them as siblings. They might look different, feel different, but they share the same DNA. They are both outcomes generated by your edge in the market. They both provide essential feedback for your journey.
Wow, we've really covered some ground today. Moving from seeing wins and losses as these warring opposites
Yeah.
to understanding they're actually entangled 2 degrees on the same spectrum of outcomes from your trading process. It's a huge mental shift.
It truly is. And grasping this perspective, internalizing it, that's your key to unlocking a more balanced, more resilient, and ultimately, yes, a more consistently profitable trading career.
It's really about mastering your internal game, isn't it? Not just trying to predict external market moves.
That's the core of it. Change how you perceive the outcomes, and you fundamentally change how you react, how you feel, and ultimately how you perform.
So here's something to really chew on after this. If you keep seeing wins as personal triumphs and losses as personal failures, you're pretty much guaranteed to stay trapped on that emotional roller coaster, always at the mercy of the market's next move.
The highs and lows will own you.
But if you can genuinely shift to seeing both wins and losses as identical in nature, just different in degree, you step into a much rarer category. The category of traders who can actually withstand the market's inevitable rhythm and focus on execution.
So the real question is, are you ready to trade the spectrum instead of chasing the illusion?
Trading an edge, where psychology meets profitability.